Sometimes when you cut a tree down, you can remove almost the entire trunk, and yet the tree will not fall. It'll rest supported by a single sliver of wood for a few moments, or even hours, almost as if defying gravity. Some might look at this precarious situation and reason that since the tree has survived every blow of the axe up to this point without falling, that it'll remain standing indefinitely. But obviously, they would be wrong, because the point of no return has already been crossed. The U.S. economy is like this tree. It's been cut through to the core, and only one thin strand remains. That strand is holding back the inevitable, delaying the consequences that are guaranteed to follow. The average person probably hasn't quite grasped the fact that 98% of the trunk of our way of life has already been cut away. But they are beginning to notice that the tree is swaying and creaking like it never has before, and some are starting to prepare. The final strand holding up the U.S. economy is the petrodollar. As long as oil is only sold internationally in U.S. dollars, the demand for the dollar will persist. And it's that demand which enables the dollar to continue to seem to have value. And this is the only reason why we have not seen an immediate spiral into hyperinflation in spite of the trillions of dollars created out of thin air over the past several years. However, the days of the petrodollar are numbered. And when the petrodollar is gone, the consequences will be immediate and earth-shattering. The events that will follow have no precedent. There's never been a time in all recorded history when all the economic systems of the entire planet were bound to and dependent on one single, worthless fiat currency. The world has never seen an empire as powerful and pervasive as the United States, and as a result, most people cannot even fathom what will happen when it falls. I'm going to tell you what's coming, not to scare you, but because it's the truth, a mathematical certainty. I want you to understand so that you'll prepare, so that you'll live. Once the US dollar loses its world reserve currency status, hyperinflation will set in immediately. Within days, all foreign imports will grind to a halt. No one will have any reason at that point to trade perfectly good products for our worthless paper. Since the US currently imports 2/3 of its oil, gas prices will skyrocket for a short period as the dollar unwinds. Within weeks, all non-agricultural civilian use will be cut off entirely. Average citizens will not be able to buy gasoline at any price. All oil will be reserved for military and farm use, and even in these areas, there will be severe shortages. The riots and the looting will start when the price for even the most basic food products becomes inaccessible for the poorest of society. But within a very short period of time, the panic will spread into the middle and upper class. Martial law will be attempted, but will fail. It'll fail for the simple reason that the soldiers and the police charged with maintaining this martial law will begin to realize that they won't be able to protect the lives of their family if they remain at their post. The darkest and the most dangerous period of this collapse will begin when the riots stop. The riots will stop when there's nothing left to loot from the stores, and when people finally realize the government is not going to save them. I'm going to hold back from describing what will happen next, but I will say this. You need to have a store of food, water, and seeds, and you need to be armed. But even having all of those things will not be enough if you stay in the cities, because this will not be a short-term event, and our current way of life is not coming back. This will mark the end of an era and the beginning of a new one. Only those who adapt to the new normal will live to describe this time to their grandchildren, and it is only they who will decide whether we enter into a new dark age or a new renaissance.